Hello and welcome to United Report. This is your home for all the latest Manchester United news, match updates, transfer stories, and in-depth analysis. Stay connected and never miss a moment. Subscribe now to stay ahead with everything happening at Old Trafford. Ex-Manchester United starlet Hannibal Mejbri has boldly declared himself superior to the club's rumoured transfer target Chris Rigg. Mejbri was shown the door at Old Trafford by former manager Erik Ten Hag after failing to meet expectations at Carrington. The Red Devils initially shelled out around £9.3 million, including add-ons, to snap up the Tunisian international from Monaco in August 2019 one goal. Mejbri was offloaded to Burnley in August 2024. Despite his struggles at United, the 22-year-old has carved out a regular spot for himself at the Clarets, seemingly unaffected by his previous setbacks. He now asserts that he is a more accomplished player than Sunderland's Rigg, who United were reportedly eyeing last year. Rigg, 17, has netted 4 goals this season in 29 matches, with his impressive displays aiding Sunderland's promotion push. The claim emerged as Mejbri participated in a YouTube challenge with the League of 72, where he was instructed not to speak until he heard the name of a current championship player better than him. The midfielder remained silent throughout the entire challenge, not even batting an eyelid when Rigg's name was mentioned, reports the Manchester Evening News. Mejbri couldn't resist a cheeky quip after his interview, asking, "It's finished?" Then he said, "The pronunciation must be wrong because I did not hear a player that is better than me." He also declared himself superior to former United colleague Daniel James and Sunderland star Joe Bellingham by remaining silent. Rigg's performances this season have reportedly attracted the interest of several top teams, including Real Madrid. Sunderland are hoping to keep hold of their young talent, but are said to value the teen around the £25 million mark. United and Ruben Amorim are confirmed admirers, as divulged by ex-United chief scout Mick Brown late last year. "He's Rigg definitely one they're interested in," Brown said. "He fits the profile of a young player who they can help develop." They've had scouts watching him closely at Sunderland nearly every week this season. Tony Mowbray, who made Rigg his professional debut at the age of 15 in January 2023, also discussed his former player at length last year, mentioning just how intense the teen can get in training. "Chris is doing very well. He's a very robust kid who trains with us every day," the 60-year-old said to the Sunderland Echo. "I enjoy watching the careers of the players that I've worked with, and Riggy is one where you are thinking to yourself, where is he going to be when I watch him in 10 years' time and he's 25, 26? In my opinion, undoubtedly at a top team in the Premier League if he keeps working like he does." Few players have embodied the highs and lows of Manchester United quite like Paul Pogba. From a teenage prospect who slipped through Sir Alex Ferguson's grasp to a record-breaking return in 2016, Pogba's time at Old Trafford was a rollercoaster of brilliance, controversy, and unfulfilled potential. Whether it was his dazzling performances, injury struggles, or off-field drama, including clashes with managers and supporters, as well as cryptic social media posts, Pogba was always a headline maker. Now, with his career at a crossroads following his turbulent spell at Juventus and an uncertain future, whispers of a sensational United return refuse to fade. Could a reunion benefit both player and club, or would history simply repeat itself? They say third time's the charm, but after Pogba's dismal stint in Italy, few United fans are likely to put stock in such idioms. Nevertheless, talk of him having one more go at Old Trafford has lingered for months, with the Frenchman, whose doping ban ends next month, even teasing a United return on social media. He was initially banned for 4 years, though the suspension was reduced to 18 months on appeal. As per the sentence, Pogba was allowed to return to training last month and has been in Miami trying to regain his fitness. In a series of posts on his Instagram story, Pogba shared a cartoon showing him standing next to Red Devils ace Ahmad, with the pair wearing United kits. He then shared another snap of him looking out over Miami city centre with the caption, "Let's see what's coming." Pogba is a free agent after mutually agreeing to tear up his Juventus contract in November. The 31-year-old racked up just 203 minutes of playing time for the old lady across a 2.5-year spell that was blighted by injury and eventually wrecked by a failed drug test. He had 2 spells at United, initially joining the club from Le Havre as a 16-year-old in 2009 before leaving for Juventus in 2012 after failing to break into the first team. He then returned in 2016 for a then world record £89 million fee and went on to play over 200 times for the club. Pogba's second stint at United ended with a whimper, and an apology he made to his teammates in the dressing room after a 0-0 draw with Liverpool in 2021 rather summed things up. The midfielder missed a gilt-edged chance to score the winner late on by blasting a close-range effort into Alisson's palms and felt so bad about it that he took the blame for the result after the final whistle. According to the Metro, Pogba stood up in front of the entire squad and apologised, admitting that he should have buried the chance. Teammates Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay were quick to console him, though some players were reportedly furious that the team had failed to take all 3 points. United went on to finish second in the league behind neighbours Manchester City that season. Pogba managed just 6 goals in all competitions across the campaign, having bagged 16 2 seasons prior. Throughout his career, Pogba has often been accused of ill discipline, both on and off the field, and his unruliness was on full show in 2018, when he appeared to mock Jose Mourinho on social media hours after the coach's United sacking. He posted a photo of himself smirking and wrote, "Caption this," prompting a fierce backlash. A few months earlier, Pogba had been stripped of the vice-captaincy after criticising Mourinho's tactics, sparking a rift between the pair. Despite the tension, Pogba retained his spot in the starting lineup, but couldn't resist a jab at Mourinho after his departure. Reports suggested Mourinho had called Pogba a virus before leaving, but any sympathy for the midfielder vanished following his petulant social media post. United legend Gary Neville responded on Twitter, "Now X caption this, you do one as well." Later, Neville hit out at those excusing Pogba's actions, insisting that suggestions he didn't mean to mock Mourinho were garbage. He said dancing on the grave of the manager who has just been sacked is out of order. There is probably a high level of dislike there, but Jose Mourinho lost his job this morning, and Paul Pogba and his people put that post out. Don't fall for this coincidence scheduled tweet nonsense. It's garbage. Absolute garbage. Ruben Amorim has been warned that Kobbie Mainoo is confused by his tactics at Manchester United. Mainoo broke into the United team last season, establishing himself as one of their best central midfielders. But under Amorim's management, Mainoo has been pushed further forward, recently operating as a centre-forward in the defeat to Crystal Palace. While Rasmus Højlund replaced him in that role for the FA Cup win over Leicester, Mainoo was still selected in a more advanced number 10 position. But it was another disappointing evening for the 19-year-old, who failed to have a shot or create a chance and had just 4 touches inside the Foxes' box. That latest underwhelming showing has seen former Chelsea star Tony Cascarino raise concerns about Amorim's management of the youngster. He believes that the United boss is giving his young charge too much to think about. When Mainoo first came into the Man United team, I thought he really did it at a breeze, he told TalkSport. It was quite comfortable for him. He felt confident on the ball. He knew what he was wanting to try and achieve. Gets him in the England squad, does really well in the Euros, plays well, doesn't look out of place, really high standard. I'm watching Kobbie Mainoo last night, and it's not on him. I'm putting this on the manager and the coaching team around him. I think he looks a confused footballer now. Because Kobbie is going backward too often. I think he feels he's afraid to lose the ball. And that's what can happen when you get into a really technical setup, which is what Amorim is trying to achieve. I'm watching Kobbie Mainoo, and I think he doesn't really know what he's meant to do now. I feel sorry for him because he's 19, and he's learning on the job. When he first broke in, everything about his game was spot on. He's gone from a central midfielder, to an attacking midfielder, to a centre-forward. He's the future of Manchester United. He's in a position that isn't natural for him. Questions about Amorim's use of Mainoo were raised after the defeat to Palace last week, but the United boss insisted that he had faith that the England star could be a success in his more advanced role. Today, we choose to play with Kobbie Mainoo, to use the characteristics of Kobbie. It's not nothing against Rasmus or Josh. And sometimes the team scores goals by creating situations to use the right characteristics, Amorim said after last week's loss. It doesn't mean if you play with two strikers, you are going to score more goals. So I think it's a problem for the team, and we have spoken about that all the time. We need to improve our performance in every aspect of the game, especially scoring goals.